Hey everyone, welcome to Collector Chatter. And we're finally going to talk about some Funko news. It's been a long time, but there's a ton of stuff that we do want to talk about, some things that are coming out, and even some Thrilljoy stuff because we love talking about that as well.
Collecting is the way. Now let's chat.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Collector Chatter. This is episode 117. I'm Migs here with Charlie. Today's just going to be us, flying duo, throwing it back to like the old school days for today's episode. But we're excited. Like I said, this is one that we're going to talk about some news and some stuff that has been, leaked or released or whatever. And it hasn't been much to talk about. I know a lot of stuff we can talk about is Thrilljoy related, etc. We do have some Thrilljoy stuff that we want to talk about actually because they're still, unfortunately, still in the news. But we do have a lot of Funko stuff, those stuff that's coming out, stuff that we're excited. And now it seems like the new leak is getting protos of stuff, and that's what these pops are going to be made, hopefully, whatever. So we'll get into that. I don't know if you want to. We could probably start with that because there was a handful.
Yeah,
of stuff
let's start with the protos.
Yeah, that was basically a lot of stuff was being posted. Prototypes in Funko Hollywood and like some other areas, and it's kind of leading us to believe like these are pops that are look out for them. They're probably going to be made, etc. They're not like officially announced, but we do have obviously molds made of a bunch of stuff. But I don't know if there was one that like kind of got you excited because there was a few that were pretty cool. Some kind of like nothing that I would collect.
I mean, one got me really excited, and that was the white beard with Moby Dick from One Piece. I think this looks awesome. Unfortunately, I got into liking One Piece and collecting them a little late, so I don't have any of the ships that they've come out with, which have all been like, super hard. I think there's 3. There's 3 of them, so I'm pretty sure this is the 4th one. And I mean, this looks super cool. The proto looks awesome. Obviously, it's not fully detailed because it's the proto, but it gives you the gist. I definitely want to add this to my collection, so I was super excited. I mean, these have always sold out immediately. I feel like if they keep making these, even though they're bigger pieces, which I feel like I don't really want to buy any bigger pieces anymore for my collection. With this, I feel like would be an exception.
Yeah,
just because like the whole concept of them is cool. It's not gimmicky, in my opinion. I don't know. What do you think?
No, I agree. I think since the first one, and I remember like the hype and how big of a deal. Yeah, it was kind of like when One Piece was first coming out. But between these like ships and like the wanted poster and like those style ones, they were always like crazy popular, and everyone was going nuts after these. So, but yeah, this one I totally agree. Looks amazing, and again, it's just a prototype, so we don't even know the color and the paint job they're gonna do, but just based off of this mold, it looks pretty sick. And obviously, being like Whitebeard with that enormous mustache, like
it's so
they
cool.
pull it off really good. So yeah, that's one that I agree is something that looks pretty sick when we saw this. Obviously, I know you were very excited. We even put out that little short and reel talking about it, but yeah, that one's gonna be one that should be pretty cool once we see the official like glam shots and stuff of it. One of them that I thought was cool, obviously I'm a horror fan and fan of this style movie, whatever, but Beetlejuice, we're getting one of him on a tombstone.
Yes.
Which looks pretty cool. Obviously, we had a bunch that came out. We had a new movie that just came out, and there's a decent amount of them. Not something I'm probably going to necessarily like grab, but it is cool to see, especially because it is like on something. So people are also asking, like, is this going to be one of those plus ones that's like cost more money, because he is sitting on something. So who knows? But it is one that probably would be pretty cool once we see the actual mold of it. But I was excited when I saw that one.
Yeah, that one was cool. Another one that I was super excited for. It's weird. Some of these prototypes actually I got pretty pumped for. Now that we're talking about it out loud, was Roxanne from a Goofy movie. That's like one of my favorite movies of all time. We don't really have many Funko Pops from that at all. I think there's only Powerline.
Really?
So yeah, I think that's it. I think they make a Max Funko Pop, but it's actually from Goof Troop, like the show that was on Disney Afternoon. They've never made like Goofy's versions from that or any of those characters. I'm assuming we're going to be getting a bunch of them from seeing that they're making a Roxanne one. which I'm cool with. But yeah, I was super, super excited for this one, long overdue.
Mhm. Yeah, same. It looked cool. Just obviously it's just a plain white mold, but you can see that there's a little
Yeah.
bit of detail in it, and obviously looks like her. So it's going to be a. It does open it up to the fact of like this will be more excited if we are getting more of these other characters besides, like you said, Powerline being really the only one. If we can get some more, Max and other people off of the Goofy movie, that'd be pretty sick. Obviously, Goofy, etc. But one that I know Trey definitely would have been talking about right away was was the turtles, and I know it's something he's probably very excited to see. But we're getting some more holiday themed type pops, and this is for Easter. So they did show off two different pictures of some holiday Easter style ones. There's a Leonardo and a Michelangelo where they're just kind of like holding a basket of eggs, and in their other hand they also have an egg as well. So that's pretty cool that we're gonna see like not just Valentine's Day or even Christmas stuff. So like seeing an Easter version, but then the one that I thought was even better was a Michelangelo one they showed with like bunny ears. So like that's kind of funny. Again, nothing I'm gonna really collect or anything. I'm sure Trey will. He's pretty hardcore when it comes to Ninja Turtles, but it is it is different, and he's also holding an egg too, I think, in his hand. So at least we're getting thinking outside the box, and obviously Turtles is massive. They've done so much Turtles, but they're gonna keep
Turtles
doing
is like
Turtles
the
even with
gift that
holiday.
keeps on
Yep, they're
giving
gonna
for
keep doing it.
Funko now. The one thing I find interesting about these, though, the first thing I thought of when I saw these was they made these in pocket pops last year for
Oh, did they? Okay.
Easter, and they came in like those carrots, like the with the
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
So, but it's funny, like, oh, we have these pocket pops, but we never got normal sized pops,
That's why. Yeah, it's
and
that full size version now.
now they're here, which makes me. I'm not gonna lie, like I kind of thought it was cool that they only existed in the pocket pop form,
Mhm.
but I mean, obviously there's a market for this, and they'll probably be coming out for this holidays for Easter, so definitely cool. But yeah, I just found that interesting.
Mhm.
Another proto, which is is super cool, but like we're getting into the bigger pop territories though here now, which like I said, I'm kind of getting over these. Was the Spider-Man one of him like hanging upside down by his web, like and he had like a whole web that he made behind him. It
I don't
looks
think I
cool.
saw that one.
Okay, yeah, it was Dish Trackers that posted it around like when they were leaking a bunch of these.
Mhm.
And I mean, like I said, it looks super cool and it's super detailed, but I just feel like I feel like I'm a good example of saying this is someone who,
Let's see.
really likes to collect. Funko, I don't think many people want these anymore, if I'm being honest. Even though they're cool, they just take up more space.
Yeah, they're too big.
Um, they're just too big. Even if the ideas are cool, I do feel like Funko should kind of phase these out. Only really should do them for things that really, really like. There's a million Spider-Man pops, obviously already, and I'm going back to now the One Piece, the ships. Like those are such an integral part of the show and the concept of it, and like the ship at the end of the day is the character that you're getting with the pop. It's just like whoever is the captain of that ship happens to be in it. That's why those are cool, but I feel like all these other deluxe pops just kind of have to go.
Yeah. I remember GameStop had those like graffiti ones and
Yeah.
stuff, and like yeah, they just done too many. And it's what's interesting is they kind of stopped. So I thought they were away with them, but if we're seeing more of these, it's gonna be like, yeah, these might just sit on shelves of Targets of the world where you see like all these oversized pops, which I love some of the oversized. Obviously I love some of the
Yeah,
10-inch pops, but it's true, like they just take up way too much room, and not everyone's really going to be buying these. So, and this is another one that as well that they showed was a moments one of Ray and Kylo Ren. So there's like
yeah.
another like movie moment one of them, and they're just kind of like standing next to each other on a base. It's probably another one of those that's just going to kind of sit around or eventually be in Marshalls or like some discount store, because it's just not many people want these big ones anymore. But yeah, I mean, I know you're obviously a Star Wars fan. I'm sure you've had tons of them because they did so many moments in
Yep.
Star Wars. But I'm assuming this is like too much for you as well.
Agreed. I'm happy. I was going to bring this up as my next one because too much, not, and also like no one wants this Funko Pop. This is what I'll tell you, because not only are they big, and I'm not like a sequel trilogy hater like a lot of people out there, but it is my least favorite trilogy. And just being real, a lot of people in the community don't like it. The product for those movies were super hype when they came back because it was like, oh my God, we're getting Star Wars toys again. But at this point, like, multiple years later, I don't think you're right. This is a perfect example of something that is going to end up at Marshall's. I don't think anyone wants it, not even myself. So,
Yeah.
yeah, it's just, though, I don't even think they should be really making sequel pops this soon again already. Like,
Yeah.
both of these kind of exist already. They just put them next to each other in this moment from Rise of Skywalker, which in reality, it should say Ben Solo, not Kylo Ren. But yeah. Trying to think what else. I mean, regardless though, I didn't realize this until a little while ago that they were giving these protos out at that like 5-year anniversary event.
Mm-hmm.
That's where this is coming from, which
Yeah,
I got to
Funko
give
Hollywood.
Funko props to that. I mean, that's kind of cool. They made it into an event. They made it special. They actually came out with a Freddy 2 holding like a 5-year balloon.
Mm-hmm.
They had shirts. So I think this is pretty cool that they did that and they were handing out protos to fans who came.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah, it
trying
was kind of like what we say like is the cool thing to do when it comes to these. But yeah, there wasn't too much. There was like a cyborg Superman that also released. There was a Bruce Banner
with the quote,
which is like, we saw a few of those quote
which they're
pops
all
that
at
have been coming
Marshall's.
out. Yeah, and then there was like some World of Warcraft ones I think that were, probably not anything that we really collect per se. So but yeah, like you said, it's cool. It was more so like it's cool to see these molds. We don't have these pops out there, so interesting to see, are they going to be made, or are they just going to stay as protos? But it's also good to see that Funko's still doing these kind of events where they're giving things out. We don't need Mike Becker, I guess, to do this only. So obviously they're still doing it without him, which is good for the community and for us as collectors to have the opportunity. If you get to go to one of these type of things, maybe you can get protos out of it. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, that was kind of like the short list of just some stuff that we said we saw. Basically, they're posting. Maybe there's going to be more, but so far those are the ones that were basically shown off from the event. But we can, move on to some other stuff. So we do have some. Obviously, this is Thanksgiving week and Black Friday around the corner, and Black Friday sales start early. So definitely wanted to let you guys know. Obviously, if you don't know, check out the disc trackers and Funko Finders of the world. They're posting tons of like links. A lot of them are Amazon based. Amazon's kind of going crazy with Funko products that they're just getting rid of, and a lot of them are like 50, 60, 70% off. There's even a 10-inch pop for $11, the Sentinel pop.
Oh,
Sentinel
wow.
with the Wolverine.
Which that has a chase, I think.
Yeah, it has a chase option. It's $11. Like, that is insane. But that's to kind of show you the whole big pops aren't necessarily like what people want. So they're really offloading. Obviously, it's towards the end of the year. It's the biggest sales time of year anyways when it comes to Black Friday. And even Funko kind of, I think, brought back their 70% or up to 70% sale. So like they have that kind of going too. But there was just a ton of stuff out there. It was nothing specific that I'm like, oh, I need this or whatever. But, at least you guys know if you guys are out there looking for cheap stuff or for presents or gifts and stuff, I guess is a good idea if you wanted to buy some stuff. There's a lot of things that are pretty cheap, $7, $10, like all on Amazon and Funko out there.
Even the Funko Fusion, which makes you kind of called this, I feel like they're basically giving those Funko Pops away.
Yeah,
during this sale.
Yeah, basically, they really
I'm
are.
shocked at
I
how
don't
cheap
think
they
it's
are. There's like He-Man, I think it's $6.99.
Yeah, like $7 most of the stuff. And like, yeah, even the bundle with the game is dropped. It's $54 instead of $60, but like it's like they're literally just putting a discount on everything because they're just trying to get.
And it's funny, as I'm looking at the sale right now, I stand corrected. I have this Funko Pop. There's a Goofy movie VHS poster, so they've made that before.
The movie poster, yeah.
But that's it. Which those they should stop making.
Yeah. So
even though I was a fan of him, I don't think anyone else was.
I mean, they were cool when they came out. But yeah, I mean, it's that time of year they're gonna offload the stuff. It's a perfect opportunity for Funko to kind of do that and just get rid
Yeah,
of product at the end of the year to write off, etc. But yeah, it's gonna look for a lot of cheap stuff out there. If you're really starting up a collection or you're looking to try to build on a collection or whatever, this is kind of your time. We're kind of on the other end, or we're really not looking to do that, so we'll probably stay away from that kind of stuff. But let us know. Definitely let us know down below if you guys are interested in any stuff that's out there. If you guys seen any cool sales, because there's also sales on like Lego and a lot of other stuff as
yeah, so
well.
much stuff.
So like if there's anything that you guys are like, wow, this is an amazing deal, like I definitely got to grab this, feel free to let us know. Definitely comment down below. Make sure when you do that you are liking the video, and if you haven't already, obviously subscribe to the channel. I mean,
Of
it's nice
course.
and easy, free.
What are you
Hit that
doing?
button. That's
Do
the
it.
cheapest thing you can do on Black Friday. It's free. Click the button and you'll follow us, going forward. Yeah. But yeah, that was the Black Friday kind of news. Nothing crazy. There was some other pops I know we did want to talk about, kind of outside of like the Protos and stuff. But what was something that you wanted to bring up?
One for me that I thought was cool, even though it is a bigger pop, was they made Wicked Alphaba with Emerald City. I mean, Wicked's obviously having a moment right now. The movie's opened up to huge numbers. I feel like it's going to be one of the pop culture moments of the year. They made a decent amount of Funko. Like, I feel like they made the right amount of Funko Pops for this set. They did go a little crazy on Elphaba and Glinda in different outfits for like store exclusives. Like Target has a different one, Amazon has one. But I'm cool with it for this movie because I kind of feel like it deserves it. I also feel like it may get someone into Funko who had never collected Funko before. So this is where I think Funko does make smart moves, and this is trying to reach a new audience that they may not have in the right way. But yeah, I thought this Funko Pop was pretty cool.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's like it's a town, right? So it reminds you of like the Walt and the Cinderella Castle and like that style, and obviously, which looks really cool. The details on it are like amazing. Like obviously, I haven't seen the movie. I've seen the Broadway show, but obviously this is based out of the movie. But it looks like it's going to be pretty detailed to like what it looks like in there. Just off the top, though, I feel like she doesn't necessarily look like her, like in like at least the version they have in the movie looks a bit odd. I don't know if it's the colors or something. But yeah, I mean, like you said, this line is pretty big. That's not the only thing. They came out with a bunch of individual ones. Like you said, there was Target. I was actually Target not too long ago, the other day, and there was a bunch of like the Glenda ones all over, like Target exclusives, and like Target itself, not just Funko, they went crazy when it came to Wicked. They had their records, they had tons of memorabilia stuff and knickknacks,
clothing.
and cups,
there was Fisher Price Little People. I've never seen a movie have more licensed products, I don't think, in my entire life.
Yeah, Sid said the same thing to me. We're like walking around, she's like, "Wow, they really were going crazy with PR with this." Like
they hit
and I was like, they were doing it earlier. Now that it's out, they're just even going crazier.
It's crazy. I've never seen anything like it.
Yeah, super big, and obviously it's doing well, and it's everywhere. It's all over social media. Like it's just the hot thing. So clearly, it makes sense that Funko would jump on board, right? So they clearly, of course, kind of just running with that as well. But yeah, that was something that I also saw that I thought was interesting. Another thing, as as a Formula One fan myself, we're getting a pop that is pretty sweet. It's Ayrton Senna. So he's basically a legend, old school Formula One racer back in the day. I believe he was Brazilian. There's 3 pops that are coming out. So 2 individual ones with like 2 different like outfits, and then there's one of the rides, which is him inside the car, which I still think this is one of the best Funko Pops that Funko has made, has been the Formula One car with the driver in it. Because I always said the NASCAR ones, and we've said this multiple times, but I always said the NASCAR ones are hilarious because in a NASCAR they're covered,
doesn't make sense,
their head's not out. This is kind of what they look like. Granted, they're not sticking out this far, but this makes more sense to like the cart style, and this is basically how you sit in one of those. I'm still in shock that they haven't made more of like these kind. It's interesting that they're doing this route with like an older, like more like legendaries type one, and not the actual active racers. There's plenty of them. I just really think it's just weird that like Formula One's just not. I guess it's just not as popular in the United States. They're really trying to make it popular here.
Yeah.
There's literally 22 or 23 or so races throughout the year calendar season. 3 of them are in the United States, and it's still like I feel like I'm like on an island sometimes because there's a lot of people that don't watch or don't really know too much about it. But I'm a huge fan. Obviously, the Las Vegas one just happened the other night. It was kind of crazy though. It was at 1 a.m. on the East Coast because they raced at 10 at night over there the other
It's
night.
crazy.
So yeah, it was kind of nuts. But exciting weekend. Obviously, not to just completely go off course, but I did post a short recently, which was because we talked about this, the Lego Formula One like mashup, and they like kind of like leaked this like master set where you can get all 10 of the cars, and then it like got taken off of Amazon, but it's not coming out until next year, this set. And when I saw it, I thought it was initially just going to be individual ones, but now it looks like you're going to be able to get like all of them in one. So that's pretty cool. Like obviously if you're a Lego collector, I'm not really like a Lego collector per se, but that's
you're getting that.
I definitely want. Yeah, like I have to get all of those. But as far as Funko wise, this is a pretty cool one of Senna. So
it's just so funny. No, sorry.
I was saying it's interesting that they
I want to ask you a question about this pop though. Is there a reason they both look like different people though?
I believe it's just different times in his career. So I think it's like earlier on and later on, and that's why his hair is like a little different.
Did he pull a Michael Jackson?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know about the color of like how it is
so
true.
Funny.
It is true. It is different.
I'm happy you said this because we were joking. I was telling you before I want to get into this, but I didn't realize it was the same person until now you just said it because they look so drastically different.
Yeah, I didn't even think about it like that. Like I just saw like the outfit quickly, and I was like, oh, it's like 2 different outfits or whatever. But yeah, I guess I don't know. It is weird.
But maybe
one of them's a different person, but not that I know of because they haven't said that it is.
No, so. I mean it doesn't look like they are per that, but I do agree with you. Like this line is just super cool, and it fit. This is another thing. Maybe it's just like the ship / cars, like those look just cool, and then when you try to make other stuff in these rides, it doesn't work.
Yeah.
But I'm definitely. I mean, if I do get into it, I'll probably want these Funko Pops, but I shouldn't. So
yeah, it's a small enough line right now.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. I'm trying to think what else like really caught my eye that was new.
I know you wanted to talk about that exclusive AJ McClain pop.
Oh yeah, let's talk about that one, the 1,000 piece, because there's probably not even 1,000 people who want that. I find that to be just so weird. I know he's had his whatever relationship with Funko and Mike, and he's like come to fun days and has been at events. Yeah. I just find that pop to be super strange.
Yeah. So having a pop of him isn't obviously the strangest thing in the world, but like they do, he only has one, and it's part of like the Backstreet Boys set that came out basically, where it's the 5 of them. They're wearing all white.
Yeah, which I'm cool with. It looks
it's an older one, and it doesn't really look like them. So like this fits more. Okay, we have an updated version, whatever. But I agree, it's a little odd because one, he's not really like obviously doing anything. They're not really together per se or doing much. Him and Joey Fatone, which is interesting enough, from NSYNC, do tend to do a lot of stuff together, even though like one's Backstreet Boys, one's NSYNC, and they're like still kind of the ones that are like riding high on like that thing. They'll do like little shows together and sing each other's songs and stuff.
So weird.
Yeah, Joey Fatone's been at Epcot and Disney World and performed and stuff.
With Just Lance Bass.
Yeah, like it's like clearly they're not. Justin's clearly not coming back type of stuff. But either way, when it comes to this one, like he has been at Funko events. I think he was at a con, if I'm not mistaken, and like he seems like he's really like maybe he collects. I don't know exactly, but maybe he collects them himself, or they have this
Yeah.
good relationship. But he reminds me of like the way they treat Fluffy, right? Like they clearly like not as
Great
many clearly because
example.
they haven't done that, but
Yep.
it's like he's like that guy that's like, oh, he's a celebrity and he loves Funko and we'll always, shout him out, et cetera, et cetera. So they came out with this one. It's funny because it's just like AJ McLean. It's like him and his name only. But the fact that it is 1,000 pieces is obviously like okay. And then it's out on his like website, like shop store that he has through his website. That's how you buy it. You can buy a signed version, which is $250, which is ridiculous.
Yes.
And like, I mean, I was always a fan of the Backstreet Boys. I was a fan of AJ. I even played
I
AJ
was
when we
about
would
to say
read,
that.
we did so I was like doing like skits
When I
and
saw this
videos
Funko
and
Pop, I'm like, is
stuff.
Migs gonna get this?
Literally like, and like, that was me. I played the AJ of the Backstreet Boys and like, we've done this and whatever. And like, he's wearing a fedora, like it's his look and it's whatever, but for 1,000 piece and like, I don't care if it's signed, like, no, I don't really like love it that much to like go run after it. But like people are kind of laughing because a lot of people don't know who this is. Obviously, younger people definitely probably don't know who this is.
Oh my god.
People, yeah, it's interesting. I mean, it's been 20 years, 20 plus years that they're really like were popular. Um, and it's just funny because I'm watching, reading some of the comments, and like one guy posts like for $250, his wife better personally deliver it and then spend the night. Like it's just like people clearly were like, yeah, this doesn't
Oh,
make sense. And I doubt it's really selling. He was with Mike, like they did those awkward videos together. Like it's
oh
just,
yeah, I
it
forgot
was a
about
weird
that.
one. Yeah,
Yeah.
so like I don't know. I think it's kind of a waste too.
Speaking of other Funko Pops that are cool but like not needed, is the Jurassic Park like hatching ones. Like they basically made one of all the dinosaurs in the movie,
Yeah.
which I find like I don't know. It's just like and I love Jurassic Park. I do have a decent amount of Jurassic Park Funko Pops. I mean, I will not be getting these just because this is the continued like cash grab of an IP for Funko,
Yeah.
in my
We
opinion.
don't need them.
Um,
They overdid
and
that line.
exactly, like if anything, maybe this should have been the NFT pops, but like it's just like why I don't think people want these anymore.
Yeah, I agree. And I did want to talk about this one because it is going to kind of transition over to another topic that I know we definitely wanted to talk about. But there is a movie moment from Terrifier, which, as we
Oh,
all
yeah,
know, big fan of that movie, big fan of Art the Clown specifically. Art the Clown became a really massive, iconic horror like villain, especially lately, and Funko has
yeah.
really jumped on that because it came out with all those exclusives, and they were just like, and it's interesting because
They're still hard
we've
to
said,
get, right?
yeah, they are. They're hard, and they're obviously like priced pretty high now if you want to get like the chases and exclusives and stuff. But what I wanted to say is interesting is that we've said this in the past when it comes to Funko, or clearly Funko like tends to kind of lean towards the masses, but a lot of kids and like, all ages kind of collect Funko. And usually they're not too controversial, but then randomly they will be. We'll get that like Blink 182 pop where they're blurred out naked. Like we'll get weird stuff that you're kind of like, really? Funko's going to come out with this? Or like from a movie or a character that's like a very much rated R movie. And you're like, I'm surprised they're actually doing this. And when it comes to this movie, like this movie is actually NR-17. Like it's not rated. It's like NC-17. Sorry, it's like not even rated. It's like literally very, 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 very like over the top. Lots of blood and gore and nudity and all that kind of stuff. And it's interesting that they really ran with this character, especially the bloody chases and like
I
these
agree.
moments. Because even this moment, like there's blood all over the back, there's a handprint, like it. And this scene, which is in like a bathroom, is pretty intense. Like nothing too crazy happens specifically in this scene, but it is obviously like a pretty cool scene. But I think this is awesome. She looks amazing because she's basically in an outfit that she creates herself for like a Halloween party, and it's kind of like you got to watch the movie, but it kind of like ties to something. So it's like a really, really, really cool scene that they came out with. It is kind of out of nowhere. It is obviously way after the fact of the movie, Halloween, etc. But it's out there and you can pre-order it on Amazon, which means it's probably not even going to come out right away anyways. which is another thing that's interesting. But it falls into, like we said, one of those moments, kind of bigger. But back in the day when I was collecting stuff and I was getting moments like this, would be something that I would 100% grab when I had
People seem pretty
stuff.
excited for it.
No, 100%. People are. Some people that don't know like the whole moments thing might think it's a little pricey, but like that's how it's always been, the moments. But for the most part, people are very excited for it, especially in the horror collector community, because like I said, he's a big deal now, and like anything they've been coming out with has been hot. And this is just another one, especially because now we're getting another character. It's not just art from the movies. We're getting kind of like the main character female that was kind of in the second and third movies. So we're kind of getting that in this. But I did want to kind of transition over to the fact that this is a Amazon exclusive. However, there is a sticker at the bottom, which we saw this at the con, right? The con was the first time, New York Comic Con, where they had these like QR codes at the bottom, basically to like authenticate that this was real. And it says original on the sticker. But however, the other side of the sticker, because it's like one big sticker, it does say like the Funko Special Edition, which we've seen this sticker in the past by itself on the QR code. And it was the one that they transitioned over when they had international Amazon, Target, etc. exclusives. We got away from that disgusting silver sticker they used to say special edition.
Yes.
I hate that sticker.
God, looks so fake.
Yeah, and kind of went to this one. And this is the one you would see if it was like that kind of exclusive. Supposedly, I don't know if this is 100% confirmed yet, but supposedly what is going out there is that Funko is now going to use this sticker to kind of be the shared retailer sticker for all shared retailers. I didn't see anything specifically saying internationally. So if that's the case, like I kind of like that. It kind of keeps it uniform. Yeah. It's obviously this new like sticker that you can authenticate that it's like legit. But I don't know what your thoughts on like them so hopefully, or maybe just getting rid of like Target exclusive stickers, Amazon exclusive stickers, etc., and going with this. This is kind of just like the rumor out there. Nothing has been confirmed, I don't believe, but that's kind of like where it looks like it's going.
Yeah, I mean, I got back and forth, but I think it's a good idea, especially because now this helps Funko not have to worry about having stock of the crappy international stickers that no one wants. Mm-hmm. Even though they, like you said, they've gotten better, there's still this stigma to like, I don't want that one. I want the one that says GameStop. And I know, I actually was, if I'm being honest, really kind of annoyed at Funko. I ordered a one-piece Funko Pop, and it's interesting. There's been times where they will have on their website, it shows, you can scroll through the images. All right, you have a chance of getting either the US retail exclusive sticker or the special edition one. This one that I ordered said that I was only be getting the Chalice collectible sticker. I got it in the mail. It came with the special edition sticker. I was a little annoyed because I honestly wouldn't have ordered it.
That's interesting.
Emailed Funko about it, and they were kind of just like, you have a chance of getting this. And I'm not even joking. This could be a complete coincidence. They changed the website like the next day. So, and show that you could get either of the stickers. And I know for a fact it was not there. So I found that super interesting. It probably was a mistake to begin with. They should have had it. But when there's been these like restocks of like a lot of these one-piece Funko Pops, I'll use this as, I think this is a perfect example. People are like, oh my God, they're restocking them, but most of them are just the international versions. So now this does away with much more. I think that's why Funko's doing this. It's not that they don't want to have the Target branding on it anymore or the Amazon. It's just this. And then honestly, if it doesn't sell, it'll look a little better in a Marshall's. It's like I'm going to Marshall's and I'm not going to get a pop that has an Amazon sticker on it.
Yeah, I mean, I even thought that when Funko themselves were selling these other shared exclusives, I always thought it was a little bit odd. So that's what they kind of go with. Totally for it, whatever. We're not crazy hardcore sticker people. Like, would it be weird never seeing like the red Target sticker on it or the Amazon one or Hot Topic or whatever, whoever they're going to do this with? Yeah, but like you'll said, get used to it. It's something that you kind of, you'll get used to, and it's just the new norm. But I guess we'll see. Let us know if you guys think. Again, there's been a few posts about this, specifically one when the sticker was kind of on this art and Sienna one. and then they kind of like had another post. Someone, I think this trackers posted a little bit like a close up saying like this is the new like shared sticker that you're going to start seeing. But let us know what you guys think down below. If this is something that you care about, or is it's like whatever. Who knows? But I think that was it for like Funko specific. Obviously, we do have some NFT news, which we'll talk about. But I don't know if you wanted to transition over to some Thrilljoy stuff, because we definitely want to talk about that, or stick with
Yeah.
the NFTs and go
Well,
over.
let's talk about some Thrilljoy stuff. So there's a few things that have been in the news for Thrilljoy. One that happened yesterday, which I was excited for, was, I'm not sure if we actually talked about this on the last episode or we kind of talked about it after we were done recording, but I was like, wow, Thrilljoy, are they going to make their Christmas drops? Because they had mentioned that they were coming. They were saying we were going to get them at New York Comic Con, and we hadn't got them. And then we were all kind of like, oh, Black Friday, is that going to be when it is? And that's what they're doing. They teased it that Christmas drop is coming. It's even interesting. I think Diz Trackers or one of the other sites picked this up. Like the Buddy the Elf picks actually was listed on their website, and then it got taken down. But the one thing that just is a little upsetting for me about this, based off of what's been happening with Thrilljoy, but maybe this won't be the case, but I don't think we're going to get these for the holidays, which kind of is a bummer. Because I really thought we would be able to get them in time for, like, obviously the picks is all about kind of decor in its own way. So it would be kind of cool to have, your Heat Miser, your Buddy the Elf, hanging, on your wall or on your mantle with your stockings or whatever. But I'm interested to see how this drop's going to go down, because it's the first like real drop they're having since the launch of the website. And from what they've said, this is kind of how they're always going to do their product. It's going to have these like random drops, or not random, but like planned drops, just like Drop does for Funko NFTs. But I don't know, what do you think?
Which I mean, I think I was on board with the whole like that way of doing things. We kind of said that's kind of how they should have done it in the beginning. They should have went a little bit more eased in with certain lines, based off of what we saw at the panel and what they did announce was going to be coming out in November and going into the holidays. It's a pretty big group of SKUs again, and obviously we're getting like the Elf lines, we're getting Christmas Vacation, we're getting the Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer ones,
A Year Without Santa Claus,
all that kind of stuff. So like there's a lot, and they have chases and whatever, so it's kind of another batch of stuff that they're going to come out with. They teased obviously this whole little holiday like lookout coming soon for the holidays type of thing, where obviously their holiday drop is going to be coming out. Now, if they announce everything, like I'm assuming they would announce it, and then hopefully you can purchase or order or whatever soon after. Because if that's the case, if they fall into their whole 2 to 4 weeks thing, like maybe we get them by Christmas. If they follow that and it's actually coming sooner, I'm assuming they're kind of getting that figured out. If I'm not mistaken, like everyone's starting to get their stuff. There's a ton of stuff that have been shipped. A lot of people are receiving them. So obviously, like there was a lot of just delays. Like it wasn't like they didn't have anything. It's just, I think it was just a lot delayed. Maybe some of it wasn't made, but I think a lot of it was just delayed. And if that's the case, I would assume these ones that are in this holiday set should hopefully be on hand, and they're able to ship them out quicker. We don't have details on them because obviously they haven't been announced yet as to like what they're shipping is what they're saying. I guess we'll see. But it just seems like it's cutting kind of close, and most likely it's probably not going to be right before the holidays. But like you said, it doesn't necessarily have to be, but because of the way they have these style and the way that you should put these up, like for the holidays when you have your house decorated, etc., like it would make sense to have these up because it do kind of fit the theme or whatever. So that is kind of like, I agree, like something that might be a miss if they're not able to pull that off. But we saw a bunch of them and they do look cool. And like you said, the Elf, the Buddy the Elf bigger version is something that if it comes out as a mega pix, that's going to be a pretty cool one, because that's one where it's just Buddy the Elf. It's not blue as Buddy, right?
No, that one was blue, but
Okay. Don't they
it
have
was
one
still
of
super
just
cool.
Buddy the Elf though?
I don't think so.
I'm trying to remember that little case that we saw. Okay. Because we do want to obviously hopefully start getting the ones that are not blue necessarily.
Yes, I'm
Because they
trying to
do
think
have
of the
some of those.
Christmas ones if there
There's a
was. I mean,
Bumble
oh
that was
yes,
an
yep,
actual Bumble. It
yeah,
wasn't, and I knew that. But again, there was a lot. So like, are they going to drop all of this stuff, or some of this just going to be delayed till later? But I guess we'll see when this. I'm assuming maybe by the time you guys are listening to this or watching this, they've already kind of announced it. But they just talked about it, I think, like yesterday or whatever. So we're kind of waiting for that. But yeah, like you were saying, this kind of ties into a lot of stuff that's been going on with Thrilljoy. Not the best yet. We're still not on board on like everything has been flawless. Like they have had a lot of problems. They're fixing them and they're kind of manning up to it. So like
agreed.
I do appreciate that. But hopefully this drop goes a little bit better. Um, they I did want to transition over to another drop that they had though, which I thought was very interesting. And again, this was something that we knew was coming. We heard about it at the panel. It was nice to actually being able to go to this panel because they did talk
Agreed.
about a lot of stuff. They announced a lot of stuff, and one big thing that Brian said during this was obviously we're going to have all these extra waves. We're going to have stuff that people want, like you guys are asking for. We're going to have very niche stuff that no one has ever made and no collectible, like Blue Eye Samurai, for instance, stuff like that, right? But then there was a couple things that he said that were interesting, and one of them was about like what's in the news now and what's hot right now and trending. Like if something's trending, we're going to jump on it. We're going to try to make something for it and we'll get it out there. And then came out with this Moo Dang. And I don't get the whole Moo Dang thing. Like from
Neither.
it, I didn't catch on to what it even was until like after the fact. Like I think right before New York Comic Con, like maybe a day or so, is when I even heard about what it was. And I was like, what is the point of this? Like, why are people even talking about this? And then when we saw the panel, he talked about it, and I was like, really? That's what they're choosing? And like, I get it. Like, they were doing the whole proceeds thing, and like, that's totally
Which was
cool.
nice.
And I'm 100%, yeah, 100% for companies doing that. And this is a cool way to do that. But it just was funny. It was interesting. It's obviously just the Moo Dang. It's the hippo, right? Like,
yeah.
Sitting there, and then like the chase is like the mouth is like open. Like that was such a lazy chase. I'm sorry, but a lot of people are saying it, and the community speaking, it's not the best. But the funniest thing was the way they kind of dropped this. And it's not even just like the way they did it. It was kind of like how they announced it or whatever. This was a 48-hour thing. So basically they were like, it's going to be up for 48 hours. Try to pre-order as a pre-order during this time, which is totally fine because they do that with other stuff. Funko does that. You have
Which
a
are
window.
probably only making the amount that
you pre-order and they make. That's the smartest thing. Obviously, it would make
Agreed.
sense. They take that, put proceeds, whatever, make that many. I thought it was weird that the actual wax seal on it said 48-hour like edition. Like that's a little
Agreed.
weird. Like who cares? Like I don't think people care that it says that. And then what's even more hilarious is people were posting. A good friend of ours, actually, JKL Awesome, posted, and we totally agreed that it said 48-hour edition, but then when you would go to the site, it said like almost 4 days, like the clock, the timer. And we're like, well, how does that even make sense? And then people were saying in the comments, which I guess this is why, that it was like business hours. So I guess they weren't really counting overnight or whatever it was.
It makes no sense.
But that just doesn't make sense. Like if you're going to have it, I'm assuming you can still buy it. Was it just taken off at night? No, like I'm assuming you can still buy it, right? So like that whole thing was weird. I don't know. What do you think about that?
I mean, I didn't follow it enough. I wish I kind of did to see how long it was up for. But yeah, I saw before JKL Awesome actually posted about that. I saw that. I'm like, what is going on? And then when he posted, I was like, this is the fun. When you sent that to me, I'm like, this is the funniest thing. And it's just like another thing that I find it funny that we even got some comments from some of our listeners who were like, Charlie was such a Thrilljoy sweaty, and now he's like, ripping them. And I'm just being like honest. I still love Thrilljoy, and I'm excited about their products. But I'm going to be critical where I can be critical. That never should have been put up on that website. It just looks so dumb. What Funko does, which I kind of like, is they legitimately tell you when it ends, and it tells you the time. And that's what they should have done. They shouldn't have had a countdown that said 3, like a working countdown that was going
Mm-hmm.
down by the days, the hours, the minutes and the
Yeah, it was
seconds.
strange. I wonder how many people went after. I did see some people that we
I
follow
feel like,
bought it, but
I
wasn't my
don't
thing.
envision them making many of those.
Yeah. But interesting. But it kind of leads you to believe like he's going to do more of this kind of stuff,
Agreed.
which I'm totally on board with. Like if he wants to do with something that's hot and trending or whatever, like totally jump on it because obviously it's trending for a reason. People are going to like it. It's going to be an exclusive version of that because he's limiting the piece counts and stuff. And that aspect of it is cool. The whole hours thing, I think, doesn't need to be a thing. I think that's a bit weird, especially on the seal, like I was saying. But yeah, if you went after the Mudang, because I think we probably do have some listeners and
Yeah.
followers and stuff that might like this and went after it. And if you totally did, let us know. But yeah, if it was something maybe that I was like really excited for, like maybe I would have, but Mudang wasn't really doing it for me. And
No,
like I said,
I
even the
mean,
chase was like
I
real
agree.
weak.
And even in like, I hate to say this, but in like the Pix format, unless you were so obsessed with it or you love hippos or you have some sort of connection, but it's also big. Like if it was a Funko Pop, I see it's a lot easier to have supported that. I still don't think I would have bought it, but like it's a nice that
$50.
yeah, exactly. Like that's like a lot for that piece if you aren't like super obsessed with that pop culture moment. But
Yeah.
it's still cool at the end of the day. And I do like that I went towards charity. But it just like you said, it shows like Brian's just going to do whatever the heck he wants, which
Mm-hmm.
I do appreciate.
Yep. He
Um,
does, and he's doing it, and he'll continue to do it.
I am interested to see though if in this Christmas drop if we will get that Buddy, the Elf, or the Bumble or any of the Mega
Mega.
Picks. Like it's just kind of funny how that drop happened for Freddie, and it's kind of like you just aren't talking about Mega Picks anymore.
Yeah.
It's the
Yeah.
the shipping issues overshadowed. Then like that line kind of just disappeared.
Yeah. And I mean, this type of style holiday, like it kind of has to all come out at the same time. It has to come out at this time. Otherwise,
Yes,
it's just going to be very like timed completely if it comes out in January or February or something like that. So you would think they would drop all of them because we know they exist, or at least they're supposed to exist. There's at least one version of them. So hopefully they're making these and they do announce them. But yeah, Thrilljoy, still something that we're excited about. Excited to see what this holiday drop's going to be. Let us know if you guys are as excited as well. And if you saw the panel or you saw the leaks and some of these ones that are going to be coming out specific to like the whole holiday Christmas time, are any of these ones that you definitely want to go after? Because there's a few that are pretty cool. I don't really know if I'm going to get any, but there's a couple that are definitely cool to see. If I see them in a store, maybe, which now obviously we're going to supposedly start seeing them soon in a store, so who knows? But we'll figure that out. But I did want to talk about some NFT news because we
NFTs.
do, like talking about that. And obviously, last week, we were speaking about the latest drops. We did talk about the November ones that were announced. And at the time, the Batman one hadn't come out. I believe the Batman
No, it didn't
Villains,
come out
because that
yet.
just recently came out. So that was the latest one, Batman Villains. But the biggest thing with this, so like we kind of said this, like they made too many packs, way too many packs. And this was another one of those like DC sets that it was just too big. It was a really cool one. I personally really liked it. And as an overall set, I
Yeah,
thought they went with like really cool villains, versions of the villains. Like they did a good job of that. I'm not a huge fan of how they keep doing these like little backdrop things, which seems to kind of be what they're doing now, which is a little bit odd. But either way, they came out with that. But the big news about it is they burned 12,330 standard packs and 4,174 premium packs. So that's like a lot. There was a lot overall. So the percentage, I don't know if it's considered one of the biggest percentage burns, but as an overall number, like that's a lot of packs that were burned. And I know it was a set I didn't go after at all. It's something that I wanted to just kind of buy certain ones after the fact because I do have a lot of like drop wax money in there that I just want to use on random redeemables instead of getting packs for now. and I think maybe you grabbed like one pack, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I'm agreeing with you. It's like I didn't really want to go after this drop, and I don't. I'm starting to actually have NFT fatigue. Um,
Yes. Yes.
I'm just thinking out loud right now. I miss the old days of them being far and few between. I understand it's easy money for Funko. We all get it. Even though they burn all these packs, they still, it's not like they're losing money. Um,
Yeah.
but they just really need to. I think the people have spoken, even though Batman is super popular. And like you said, I'm probably gonna try to buy a few of these with my some money that I have in my drop account as well. But I knew that I could just do that, and I mean, we just got a Batman one not that long ago. Like, they're just we shouldn't have gone. I know it's the anniversary, but there should have been one for the anniversary and called it a day.
Yeah.
Funko's
It's kind
got
of
us.
crazy.
Like, we kind of said this in our episode last week with the leaked list. They are repeating too many things. Ironically, the one we're going to talk about, It's Always in Sunny, is a new one, which is refreshing, even if we're not like huge fans. But even that, um, kind of going along with there's so some of those big backdrops for the Funko Pops, even though it does look like they're all just in normal boxes, I
Mhm.
feel like that's now becoming what's special about these.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we could transition over that. So both of us aren't necessarily like the biggest, fans. I think I've seen like a random clip here or there of the show. I know it's a great show. People love it. It's funny and whatever, but like I just never really had gotten into it. But it's always Sunny in Philadelphia. Obviously, is the next set that's going to be coming out. And when this came out, like I said, I know kind of who some of the characters are, but the way they looked and how do we have pops of these at all? Always
No,
Sunny
we do.
pops. We do
Yeah,
have
there
some
is.
lines.
Yeah,
Okay, so obviously it's a line out there. I know that there's like hardcore fans of this, so I know that there's an audience out there for this. But when you saw these pops, they look like they were ever made. They look very specific to certain characters, versions of an episode, et cetera, et cetera. And I was like, if you were a Always Sunny fan, I feel like this is like, holy crap, this whole set is
agreed.
probably awesome because it fits into that NFT realm of like it's unique, it's cool, it's different. But then they announced some of the numbers, and we're also getting tons of packs for this.
Yeah,
And I already think it doesn't make sense when they do it for the DC drops of the world or the Disney and all these, which obviously are big, and we know that's a huge IP. But I still think it doesn't make sense to do so many because most of the time they don't sell because there's just too many packs because it's stuff that's been overdone. When it's a smaller set, like take Beetlejuice, for instance, that set sold out in 20 minutes. It was small. The redeemables obviously were small, but the packs that they had were small, and it sold instantly. Perfect. That's perfect because if you wanted it, you got it. If you didn't, you didn't, and you'll probably buy it on the resale market because you want it that bad. These, there's going to be so many. There's going to be so many that are going to burn. I'm
yeah.
almost positive, and it's just going to be like a waste. Like it doesn't just make it special. And maybe if you are just getting into NFTs, it's a cool way to get these because you never, if you love Always Sunny, you have a chance to get them because there's going to be so many. But if you wanted it because it's special and unique and limited, it's definitely not that. And I don't know what Drop and Funko are doing because they're so inconsistent. They're not sticking to one or the other, and that's what's very odd.
I mean, I completely agree. When I saw the numbers for these, I was shocked
Yeah,
because it does
I thought it would
not.
have been a small one.
Yeah, totally should have been a small one. It doesn't. I mean, nothing against the show. I actually used to watch this show religiously and then kind of fell off. I mean, it is super funny. I love the cast.
Mm-hmm.
I think the pops look great. But yeah, not to repeat what you said, just too big. I would be shocked. I would love to be proven wrong. We're normally pretty right when it comes to our
Would be
NFT
crazy if he
projections.
sold.
I don't see it selling out. I don't.
No.
And
Yeah.
it also doesn't have a Freddy, Franny, Proto, which
Yeah. No, no.
always hurts the drops as well. And it's so interesting because the first thing I thought was, oh wow, Disney properties have officially shown that we're not getting any Freddies or Frannies. And it's interesting. So I had mentioned this in a Facebook group, actually in a contest to win like something from Drop. And someone commented, well, Aliens had the Freddy. And I'm like, oh my God, it did. I completely forgot, which is also a Disney owned property. So it's interesting that one had it, and like we always were like, oh, maybe Star Wars or like the Disney, characters couldn't have any, even though it makes no sense because you can get Freddy's from Fun Days, especially for Star Wars. Um, but it's weird that this Always Sunny doesn't. Like, I feel like this totally should have had one. I would just love to know what's going on with like the rights purposes for like something like this not to get a Freddy.
Yeah. I mean, they went with obviously the characters, so they clearly got everyone in there. But like, could they have done one of these versions of a Freddy? Yeah, obviously. But it just makes you think, like, what is the reason behind it? So I don't know. Strange, and Drop is obviously, still not immune to criticism and issues. And another issue that they had in the past was shipping, and they kind of got better at it and everything was good. Yes. And we were getting stuff quick, like back to back. But there's a few drops recently that have been very delayed. And if you haven't like really noticed, like there's been drops that have come out after and they've shipped, I feel like, before some of these. And like the ones that are the biggest is obviously the Transformers Series 2 and the Star Wars, which was a Series 1, the first one they were coming out with. Those two specifically are the biggest sets. And then the Battle Mech Freddy, I guess, like there's a lot of issues with that as well, because it's a bigger pop. We had a feeling that was going to happen. It was going to be damages and stuff like that. But specifically the Transformers, they did come out. So Patrick from Drop did come out with like a little bit of a thing saying, so for the Transformers set, they estimate the inventory is going to arrive within the next week or two. And they expect them to start shipping out in December. So they don't even have this on hand. They obviously probably are making them based off of what stuff was redeemed and stuff, but they just have been super delayed for whatever reason. And then the Star Wars ones, even worse. And they're saying they're trying their best to ship them by December, but it seems like, and the fact that they put this makes it pretty much that it's not going to be until January.
Exactly.
That it's going to be probably pushed back to January 2025. So that's another one that's like, wow, this is a pretty big deal. And it's like, what is going on? And then specifically with the Battle Mech one, so a large amount of them were damaged through transit, which we figured obviously that probably would happen. They basically have to hold on the shipping and try to get replacements, and they're trying to ship that stuff out in December. So I'm assuming there's less of those because I know that was a limited one for the what's the pack called? The
Fundament.
No, but like the Ultra pack.
Oh yeah, whatever. The Mythic
pack, whatever. Yeah.
The Mythic pack, which I actually got one of those, and I got my Funko Pops in, but I did not get that one. So I'm part of the people who will not be getting one of those. And then it's funny, they don't say it, but I feel like the Star Wars ones came in damaged or something was wrong.
It's just those, because those I think are going to be 10-inch or not 10-inch, but like
they're in the
deluxe style one too,
which is just a huge mistake. I always am like scarred by when you got the Buddy the Alpha Grail and it came in a bigger box and and it's just a white background. So I'm just like thinking about all the things that could have got wrong with Star Wars drop. It's just like, I don't feel like they're ever going to do that again.
It was
this is proving there's just no way it's a coincidence that all of those pops were delayed.
Yeah,
it's just wild.
It's definitely weird, but it's one of those issues again that we are dealing with. Like I said, they've gotten better and everything was shipping out pretty quick. Like I know the new Batman set, the last Batman set that was out, that one's already preparing to ship out. So like they've been much incredible better job.
I mean,
much better job. The way they've shipped has been in good condition and all that kind of stuff. But clearly there's still issues. And again, these could be completely out of their hands, could be coming from wherever they're getting everything made. Like it's kind of out of their hands at that point. And we've seen that with the Thrilljoys of the world and stuff too. So clearly not everyone is immune to this. But yeah, good to see kind of that. Hopefully we start getting some of the stuff that we've been waiting for on the NFT side of things. But I think that was
That's it.
I think that was it. That was
Yeah,
it.
I
So
mean, a
a lot of
lot,
stuff
but
still.
yeah,
Yeah, still a lot of stuff. Good stuff.
a more
Uh,
old school, I feel, episode. I feel like.
yeah, back just ripping news and
Yeah.
drops and stuff back and forth. So it was definitely more of a old school episode. If you've been with us from the beginning days, you know that was kind of what we used to do a lot of. But yeah, that's going to be for the episode. Again, that was episode 117. Let us know, like I said before, definitely comment down below your thoughts of any of this stuff. We've been getting a lot more great comments. Thank you guys for
Yes.
leaving,
Thank you.
some awesome comments. And we try to get back to you, quickly as we can, to at least let you guys know what we're thinking as well. But yeah, let us know all your thoughts on anything that we talked about today, any of the stuff you're excited for, anything that you also heard maybe is going to be coming out or whatever. Definitely let us know down below. Do the usual, like the video, like I said. If you haven't already subscribed, please subscribe to the channel. We really appreciate it. On our way, trying to push to 1,000, hopefully, closer to 800 at this point now. But we're trucking along, and then we'll be back. Obviously, everyone. I did want to say Happy Thanksgiving to everyone, which will be this week. And if you are shopping for stuff, good luck. Hopefully, you get some good deals. There's a ton of stuff online, like I said. You can definitely find things. Even, it was funny, I was looking through some of the pictures of stuff that was going online, and Gemini Collectibles has some
Yes.
dwarves on sale. That's when I bought them, when they were on sale too. So
Dorbs.
if you're into dwarves, go check them out. But yeah, a bunch of stuff like there. So Charlie, you can let everybody know where to follow us and such and things like that. But yeah.
Yeah. So obviously, you can follow us at Collector Chatter on Instagram, and obviously you got to follow me at Collector_Charlie and at Pop_Migs. And then if you're listening to the podcast on podcast platforms, Spotify, you can follow us over there. Shoot us, a review, that helps us push out on that platform, that's slowly growing, and Spotify is becoming a little more like YouTube. So it's interesting. You actually can watch some video versions of us there, but it's still the full-fledged experience is over here on YouTube, because there we don't show the pop-ups of everything that we're talking about. That is exclusive to YouTube. So if you want to see all that stuff, please make sure you come over to the YouTube channel and like this video, subscribe like Mick says if you haven't already, hit that notification bell so you know when new videos come out. And also, like you said, keep dropping those comments. We're loving getting them. It's been nice to see some new names pop up. That's been really exciting. And then some new people who have consistently been commenting. We really, really appreciate it. And yeah, let us know if there's anything you get during Black Friday, any good deals, anything you're looking and trying to get or hoping is going to be on sale. And as Mick said, everyone please have a fun, safe, and great Thanksgiving. And obviously, until the next episode, collecting is the way. Later.
Peace.